Welcome to Wealth Creation Investing. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Forex Joe. And in this training session, we're going to be talking about the Forex markets, what happens next in 2013, and will you be prepared to prosper? Well, ladies and gentlemen, are you prepared for the coming economic collapse and the next Great Depression? The writing is on the wall. I compare the Euro US dollar to being in the most ugly neighborhood in the city. The bottom line is the Euro US dollar is the best looking property at this time in the worst neighborhood. It doesn't mean that it has a lot to look forward to. It just means that it's the best looking property in a bad neighborhood. You see, any financial system based on debt is doomed to fail. One of the areas that I love about the Forex markets is that you are always trading one currency pair's strength against a weakness. We only cover 22 pairs. And no matter what happens around the world, we are able to move around our money and look at currencies that are stronger, especially if the US dollar weakens. That allows us to be blessed. Today we are living in the greatest debt bubble that the world has ever seen. And if all of a sudden people cannot use credit to buy things, our economy would immediately ground to a halt. Well, folks, unfortunately, no debt bubble can last forever. When this current debt bubble finally bursts, faith in the financial system is going to disappear, credit is going to freeze up, and there's going to be a massive wave of bank failures, even more that transpired between 2008 and 2012. You see, if you keep racking up and piling up debt, eventually a day of reckoning comes. It is an absolute. The only way that we have withstood the test of time to date is because of what the Fed and other central banks have been doing. They've opened up the printing presses and they have created money out of air. That's why the U.S. is so far in debt, almost $17 trillion in debt. In fact, the U.S. financial system is like a car with no brakes. It's heading straight towards a 5,000-foot drop at 100 miles an hour. And it can't stop. You see, 2008 is going to look like a church social. It's all going to seem like fun and games from that financial outburst to some people until we hit the canyon floor. Once that happens, nobody will be laughing. What you need to do now is prepare. Can America survive as the world's superpower with everything happening? Right now we have 128 million Americans that are now on some sort of government aid. You know, American health is in decline as new data finds that 1 in 4 U.S. kids are on food stamps as of the fiscal year 2011, and the younger generation is more prone to death and poorer health levels compared to their counterparts in other developed nations. In fact, because of what's transpired in the last 20 years, more Americans will have the lowest probability of surviving till 50. The U.S. men rank last in life expectancy among the 17 countries in this study, and the American women are second to last. So not only is everybody working themselves to death and not earning much money, but in the process they're killing themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, don't buy a house in a state where the private sector workers are outnumbered by folks dependent on government. There was 11 states that Forbes recently did a study on that had this list of danger spots for investors. They can look forward to a rising tax burden, deteriorating state finances, and an exit of employers. Now, you heard me when we first started this training, we talked about the Euro US dollar being in the worst neighborhood. It was the best looking property in the worst neighborhood. Well, if you put these 11 states that I'm about to share with you in that category, I would say exit stage left. This list includes California, New York, Illinois, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Kentucky, and Ohio, along with some of the smaller states like Maine, New Mexico, and Hawaii. In fact, all 11 states who have more people dependent on government voted for Obama in this past election, and that's why it remains status quo. People are not looking forward to prosper anymore. They're not looking for America to be the American dream. They're looking, in fact, they're expecting handouts and expecting to be taken care of by government. That's what they've been taught. We have a changing paradigm change in society, ladies and gentlemen. And unless you start dipping into reality, this economic collapse is a mathematical certainty. I don't know if it's going to happen this year. Might be 2 years, 5 years. I'm not in charge of the printing presses. But we cannot continue, unless we want to become a banana republic, attracting debt, which has now risen up to almost $17 trillion. The more debt that you have, the more it's going to be unlikely to repay. In fact, right now, 40% of our expenses out of the government is borrowed. You see, the top 5 places we're not to be once it hits the fan is Israel, Southern California, England, New York City, or Washington, D.C. Americans have spent 8.4% of their household income on gasoline last year, when gas averaged an all-time high of $3.51 a gallon. That's double the percentage a decade ago. There are over 50 million Americans living below the poverty line, and only 47% of the U.S. workforce is fully employed at this point. Now, why is that of huge significance? Because if you take a look at what's happened in Greece recently, over 50% of the people from age 22 to 49 were unable to find work. Many in today's world are locked into careers where just going to their job brings on massive unhappiness or depression. There was another study that showed that those who drink sodas or diet sodas are getting massive depression. You see, 2013 and beyond will create many new millionaires in the Forex markets due to the uncertainty in the world. You have a fundamental choice to make a choice and a decision to see if you want to learn how to participate in a $4.7 trillion a day market that runs 24/7. I want to be able to teach you the Big Lights strategy versus Big Lights trader. That's using the daily, weekly, and monthly charts, but we do cater to all traders with our FX trade alerts. You can scalp, get in and out of the markets, be a day trader, be a swing or position trader. We cover 22 currency pairs, and if you've never stepped into the Forex markets, we'd like you to invite to investigate and take a look at more information and see how you can prosper by becoming a client. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for taking time to attend this video webinar. Until next time, may all the pips be with you, and I would watch this replay again over and over and over, and then start paying attention and quit sticking your head in the sand like an ostrich, because if you don't, you deserve to be sheep. You see, you can shave sheep many times, but you can only skin them once. So if you're tired of being shaved, it's time to learn how to participate and protect your portfolio in the 21st century. My name is Forex Joe. Till next time, may all the pips be with you. Godspeed, and we'll see you then.